So this weekly challenge number 289 deals with data preparation using a shoe inventory dataset. When we look at our dataset, we can see we have the shoe ID, which colors are distributed for each of the shoe IDs, and the sizes that are distributed for each of the shoe IDs. So for this challenge, we're going to clean up the dataset. We're going to assign a new ID number. We're going to clean up the size column. We're going to add a comment stating how many colors are available, and we're going to separate the colors into 3 separate columns. It also gives us a clue that the colors are separated by a /, so that will be an important thing to keep in mind. So the first step, adding a new ID number, we can use the record ID tool to create a new column called new ID, starting with a value of 1, and that will give us the new ID column. The second step, when we look at the colors column, we can see that some of the colors are in title case, most of them are in title case, but some of them are in uppercase. So just to make sure everything's standardized, we can use the data cleaning tool to modify the case of the colors column to title case. The next thing we're going to do when looking at the sizes column, we can see that some of the sizes are just a number. Some of the sizes have size at the beginning of the number. So to make everything consistent, we're going to remove size from the beginning of any string that has size within it. And so we can use the trim function to remove size and then the extra space from any value that has size within its string. The next thing, so it asks us to separate the colors into 3 separate columns. So we know that a / is the delimiter, and so using the text to columns tool, we can create 3 new columns based on the colors column using the / as the delimiter, and that will give us 3 new columns. So if a shoe ID only contains 1 color, there will only be 1 value in the colors 1 column, and there won't be a value in colors 2 or colors 3 column. However, if there is a shoe that contains 3 different colors, there will be a value in each of those columns. The next step, it asks us to create a comment stating how many colors are available. So to do this, we have our colors columns. We can use the summarize tool to just count whether or not there is a value within that column. So if there is a value, there will be a 1. If there's not a value, there will be a 0. And so once we have the 1s and 0s in each of these colors 1, colors 2, and colors 3 columns, we can use the formula tool to get a sum of those 3 columns. And that will ultimately be our color count column. The next step, we are going to use an additional formula tool to create a string that says how many colors are available. So if the color count equals 1, then we will use that value of the color count, add a space, and add color available. So it will say 1 color available. If the value is not equal to 1, then it will take that value, add a space, and add colors available since it's plural. So in the comment column, we will either have 1 color available, 2 colors available, or 3 colors available. We will then take that column, use the select tool to take the comment column and join that back to our initial data set to get the columns we need. So we have the new ID, we have the sizes column, we have the comment column, we have color 1, color 2, and color 3 columns. And so theoretically, that should be all we need to join back to this initial output of the data set. When we join it back to the output of the data set, we can see that we have 1,800 records that match back. However, 200 records don't match back. So we need to figure out why those 200 records don't match back. When looking at what my results are compared to what the output results are, we can see that the output actually added an S anytime there is just a U on the end of the size column. And so using this output of the 198 records that didn't match back that have a U on the end of it, we can take that size column, add an S to the end of that column to make it consistent with what the solution actually is. And then we can use the union tool to union what actually matched back to what did not match back, and that will give us the 2000 results. And then at the very end, we can take the select tool to grab the exact columns that we need.